And welcome to Bud Mash. And today, it's going to get a little bit political, so if you don't want this episode, or you don't want to listen, I perfectly understand. But we're going to talk about Hassan Piker yet again. Jeez. As you all know, two Israeli people got shot at the Museum for Israel in Washington, and they worked for the embassy. And I'm gonna say this, and this is my takeaway from this is you could have a debate on like the ideals of of Israel, Palestine, etc., etc. But I think once you essentially go and kill innocent people from either side, that's sort of where it gets to me, where it's like this shouldn't be, whether it be an innocent, Palestinian or an innocent Israel person, because at the end of the day, they work for the embassy. They were married. They're going to be married. It seemed like, and you don't know their position. They could be just pencil pushers at the end of the day. Like they have no real sway in the outcome. So you just killed two innocent people. How does this tie all the way back to Sam Piker? Oh boy, oh boy. So, first off, the killer who killed these people essentially was a fan of Hassan. That's so the first tie into him. Really, this whole thing ties into Hassan because at the end of the day, this isn't Hassan's first rodeo doing some extremist bullshit. He literally had terrorist propaganda play on one of his streams. How the fuck Twitch decided to not ban him? That's beyond me. Also had a panel at TwitchCon that literally had nothing to do with gaming and categorized people based on their race. He literally said Americans deserve 9/11. Beginning of year, he said if, and this is on February 28th, 2025, he made a statement about Rick Scott. Essentially, if you cared about Medicaid fraud or Medicare fraud, you would kill Rick Scott. Scott, my bad. But here's your role. Now we're getting the picture of. This is only like a couple minutes of the person we're dealing with. He seems like a radicalist, and this is just from all what I've gathered up myself. Granted, I think for some of the Squawk searches, I think I'm going to be on the watch list for a bit, but one of those things, especially if you're a writer, you're like, oh yeah, how does this poison work? You're going to be on a watch list. It's one of those running jokes in the writing community. But anyways, so you get the type of person you're dealing with. I wonder why in December 2024, a lot of advertisers, pulled more advertising money from Twitch because of Hassan Piker. Because he was making blatantly anti-Semitic statements and very radical statements like these that I sort of laid out. I didn't want to be broke because I think I would have an aneurysm because Twitch didn't, ban the dude. Like any other person, they would ban. They would straight up ban. Like they'd be like, "Nah, we're done. Have fun. Go home. We're done." But no, Hassan and his crew are the golden children of Twitch. Literally, and I already covered this, called Frogan a fat bitch. Which, I mean, as crude as it is, it ain't wrong. And that dude got banned for calling her that when she done way worse with Hassan. Yeah. Where does this leave Twitch? First off, I think Twitch is hanging by a thread at this point. I mean, they literally, Twitch has been like standing up for this guy so much that I don't think it's gonna be able to withhold. Because at this point, the U.S. government's gonna get involved. At this point, like this ain't like some small thing. It's all over the news and stuff, and I think Twitch is hanging by a thread. At the end of the day, like I said, they held this double standard for not just Hassan and his golden boys, but also his golden kids. But also ethos. That's totally different from this. But essentially, Twitch sort of held this double standard for both of them. And I think it's going to catch up to Twitch because the thing is, like I said, the government's going to get involved and crack down on Twitch. And I hope they throw the fucking book at Hassan because that's the only way you're going to get some of these really radicalized people to stop is if maybe they really see someone get the book thrown at them. But I doubt it. If he goes to jail, it's going to be one of those rich people jails like Martha Stewart went to. But I digress. Twitch is in trouble. And at this point, if I was Jeff Bezos, I'd be like, shut it down. It ain't making any money. You got the staff that is essentially super political and essentially in their politics bleed into decision making. After this incident, I wonder how many more advertisers are just going to be like, nope, we do not want to be associated with this hot mess express. Like, no, thank you. Already, like I said, December in 2024, a lot of advertisers already pulled out. But now with Hassan Piker being sort of one that is having their eye on and is a prominent figure of Twitch, they just may pull out. That's it. I mean, it may be another apocalypse in only how many months? Maybe only 5 months, and that's a bad record for a platform. Literally, having two apocalypses in only a few months. That's not good. So, and it shows in how Hassan's responding, because this is what the ADL, someone from the ADL said, and this is Jonathan Greenblatt. But all of us need to call out, speak about the New York Times doing a glossy profile a few weeks ago of this gamer Hassan Piker who regularly employs awful genocidal rhetoric against Jewish people and a Jewish state. Like extremists should not be empowered. People who spout prejudice should not be platformed. This is a moment we need to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, we got to stop this because consequences are deadly. First off, Hassan's not a gamer. The guy's wrong about that. Hassan's a political streamer. He is not a gamer. More known for his very hot takes that are like ghost pepper level hot. One thing I really want to clarify with this is he's not a gamer. Twitch should have banned his ass sooner and earlier and been more on him because, yeah, consequences are deadly. No shit. I'm not saying he's wrong, but Twitch should have done this long ago before it got to this point. But, this is what happens when you play favorite and say you have double standards. And then the rest, I just can't disagree with the guy because Hassan has been a little extreme with his rhetoric, or very extreme, should I say. And it's not like it's just a debate, it's like some crazy shit. Honest, if it was like more of a debate, I would be like, okay, you know what? Maybe that is an extreme, but with Hassan's case, yeah, dude's freaking extreme as hell, and I guess he's catering to his fan base. But I don't think he can cater anymore. He's been really playing it sort of down the middle. The same article, Hassan criticizes John Greenblatt for defaming him. Well, geez, I'd criticize John Greenblatt for calling me a gamer too. But, oh, humor aside, he's criticizing him for essentially about the incident. And this is what Hassan said. I think this is like not only defamation against me, but also defamation against the New York Times too, because they also wrote my dehumanizing anti-Semitic sentiment, of course. They wrote it in the most New York Times ways possible. They put it in a record where they said I accuse Israel of doing genocide. Because if that's the blinking framework, did you know that was coming? Yeah, I saw this morning. It's defamation. He's a bleeping slanderous piece of blank. and and then he says, because he's trying to, he's trying to distance himself because he said essentially, and this is um that the guy who the Jewish museum was his own fault and his own actions. Like he's trying to distance himself away from it because he knows this is a firestorm waiting to happen. This is a kick in the butt Twitch needs. I doubt it. If it's gonna be if the way Dan Clancy's running it, it's gonna be I'm going down with my fucking ship, you bitches. Do you guys think Twitch is cooked? I think Twitch is so cooked that it's a well done rubbery steak. Anyways, take care, happy gaming, stay healthy, stay hydrated, bye!